Have you ever wondered why some people leave a lasting impact while others are forgotten the moment they walk away? It's not about looks, money, or constant attention. It's about presence. True influence comes from creating an emotional spark that lingers even in your absence. This story isn't about cheap tricks or desperate chasing. It's about understanding human psychology at a deeper level and learning how to carry yourself with so much confidence, mystery, and value that others naturally miss you when you're not around. One of the biggest mistakes people make in relationships is chasing too hard. When you constantly call, text, or try to prove yourself, you create the opposite effect of what you want. Instead of making someone appreciate your effort, you come across as desperate, and desperation never inspires respect. Human psychology works in a simple way. We don't value what we have too much of. Think about it. If you eat your favorite food every single day, do you crave it anymore? Of course not. The same happens in relationships. When you give someone unlimited attention, they stop craving your presence because it's already guaranteed. Chasing also communicates insecurity. It silently tells the other person, I don't believe I'm valuable enough to wait for you to notice me. And nothing kills attraction faster than insecurity. Instead of trying to convince someone to like you, learn the power of stepping back. Give them space to notice your absence. That silence often speaks louder than 100 text messages, and it allows curiosity to grow in their mind. Most people think constant communication builds connection, but in reality, it makes your presence ordinary. Good morning texts, check-ins throughout the day, and endless good nights may feel like effort, but they quickly lose their value. Silence, on the other hand, is powerful. It creates tension. It makes someone wonder, what is he doing? Why hasn't she replied? Who could they be with? That wondering is the first step toward missing you. Attention is like currency. The more easily you give it away, the less it's worth. But when you hold it back even for a short while, it becomes rare and valuable. The key here is balance. Silence should not feel like immaturity or ignoring. It should reflect confidence and independence. A person who does not need to check in constantly proves that their life is full, their time is valuable, and their emotions are not tied to instant replies. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. That silence can echo longer than any words. One of the fastest ways to become forgettable is to always be available. Many people mistakenly believe that by dropping everything for someone, they'll win affection. But the truth is, what comes too easily rarely feels special. When someone knows you'll always say yes, always answer, always show up, there's no tension, no excitement, and no mystery left. Think about moments in your life when you wanted something hard to get, a dream job, a rare opportunity, or even a personal goal. The chase made it exciting. Once it was handed to you without effort, the excitement faded. Relationships work in the same way. When you orbit around another person, they stop seeing your worth. But when you live your own life, pursue your passions, value your time, and sometimes say, I can't, I'm busy, you create a sense of independence that is magnetic. People are drawn to those who have their own priorities. Availability without limits leads to being taken for granted. Limited availability, on the other hand, creates longing. Honesty is important, but too much honesty too soon kills the spark. Attraction thrives on curiosity. When you reveal everything, your feelings, your thoughts, your future plans, you remove the element of mystery. Without mystery, there is no tension, and without tension, there is no excitement. Think of your favorite story or movie. What keeps you hooked? The suspense. If everything was explained in the first 5 minutes, you'd lose interest. People are wired the same way. When you don't reveal everything, when you leave some questions unanswered, you create intrigue. That intrigue forces others to think about you when you're not there. Missing someone starts in the mind, not the heart. It's the imagination that makes absence powerful. This doesn't mean lying or playing games. It means letting some things unfold naturally over time, rather than rushing to prove yourself. Remember this: the less you explain, the more they wonder. And the more they wonder, the more they feel your presence, even when you're gone. Many people fall into the trap of fighting for someone's attention. They rush to comment first on posts, try to outshine others in a crowd, or overcompensate whenever they feel competition. But here's the truth. If you're competing, you've already lost. Value is not proven by outshining others. It's shown by self-respect. The moment you try too hard, you communicate that the other person is above you, that their attention is some prize you have to win. But real confidence flips the script. Instead of chasing attention, you become the one others seek. A person who knows their worth doesn't worry about who else is texting, calling, or showing interest. They know that if someone cannot see their value, it's not their loss, it's the other person's. The mindset shift is powerful. You are the standard, not the competitor. When you stop fighting for attention and start living like you are the prize, people naturally notice. And the respect you gain is worth far more than forced approval. Love without confidence feels like weakness, and weakness is never attractive. You can write long paragraphs, shower someone with affection, and bend over backwards to show how much you care. But if you lack self-belief, the spark will never ignite. Confidence, however, is magnetic. It is not loud or arrogant. It's quiet, steady, and undeniable. True confidence shows in the way you walk, the way you speak, and the way you carry yourself without constantly asking for reassurance. Think about it. How often have you seen someone fall for a person who wasn't the best looking or even the kindest, but had that unshakable self-belief? That's no accident. Confidence signals strength, security, and leadership. These are qualities that naturally draw others in. Love may make someone smile, but confidence makes you unforgettable. And here's the truth: confidence is not what you say, it's what you do. It's standing by your opinions without fear. It's walking away from disrespect. It's choosing yourself even when it's hard. That kind of confidence leaves a lasting mark in someone's mind long after you're gone. Nothing makes a person value you faster than the thought of losing you. Human nature resists guarantees. We crave what we might lose, not what is permanent. Too many people make the mistake of giving unconditional presence to someone who hasn't earned it. They stay no matter what. They forgive no matter how many times they're ignored. But when someone knows you'll always be there, they stop appreciating you. The moment they sense your energy slipping away, your attention focused elsewhere, their perspective changes. Suddenly, questions fill their mind. What if they're moving on? What if I've lost my chance? What if someone else is getting their time? That fear triggers desire. The point here is not manipulation. It's self-respect. You're not pretending to pull away. You're showing that your life doesn't revolve around them. You're proving that if they cannot value you, someone else will. And that realization creates the deepest form of missing. You become the person they regret. Not holding on to independence is one of the most attractive qualities a person can have. When you show that you have your own goals, your own passions, and your own life outside of a relationship, you create gravity. People are drawn to those who live with purpose. On the other hand, dependency is draining. If your entire world revolves around someone else, they will feel the pressure, not the attraction. Imagine two lives, one full of hobbies, growth and ambition, and the other empty, waiting for someone else to provide meaning. Which one would you be drawn to? The answer is clear. Independence is not about ignoring people. It's about showing that your happiness doesn't rely on constant validation. It means you can stand alone and still thrive. And here's the paradox. When you don't need someone, that's when they want you more. Independence creates respect, and respect is the foundation of true desire. Pulling back is one of the simplest yet most powerful strategies to make someone notice your absence. It doesn't mean disappearing forever or cutting off all communication. It means learning when to step away and let silence build curiosity. Most people panic when they sense distance. They double their efforts, send more messages, and try harder to win attention. But pulling back is the opposite. It says, I respect myself too much to fight for your focus. This subtle shift flips the balance of power. Instead of you chasing, they begin to notice the space you've created. They wonder why you stopped trying so hard. They check their phone, expecting your name. They replay past conversations in their mind. The absence you created turns into a presence in their thoughts. And that is the beginning of attraction. Pulling back is not punishment, it's proof of strength. It shows you don't beg for attention, you inspire it. At the heart of every strong connection lies self-respect. Without it, attraction cannot survive. Many people sabotage themselves by prioritizing approval over dignity. They think, if I say yes, if I agree, if I bend, maybe they'll like me more. But approval gained by sacrificing yourself is temporary and hollow. True attraction comes when you show that your respect for yourself comes first. When you set boundaries, when you stand by your principles, when you say no with confidence, you communicate strength. And strength is magnetic. Approval seeking, on the other hand, makes you forgettable because it communicates that you'll do anything to be liked. People don't miss those who bend too easily. They miss those who stand firm, those who have a backbone, those who carry themselves with pride. Respect yourself first, and others will follow. Lose yourself for approval, and no one will value you. Detachment is not about not caring. It's about caring without being controlled by the outcome. When you detach, you free yourself from the constant need for validation. You're no longer anxious about whether someone likes you, texts you, or chooses you. Instead, you radiate calm confidence. And here's the paradox: the less you cling, the more magnetic you become. Detachment creates space for someone to move towards you. Imagine water in your hand. If you squeeze tightly, it slips away. But if you hold your hand open, the water stays. The same is true for relationships. Cling too tightly and you push people away. Relax your grip and they naturally stay closer. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means strength. It shows that your happiness is not dependent on anyone else's approval. That quiet strength is what makes others think about you even when you're not there. Purpose is one of the most attractive forces in the world. When you live with direction, you automatically stand out. People are drawn to those who know where they are going. It signals stability, ambition, and strength. On the other hand, drifting through life without goals communicates weakness. It shows that you're waiting for someone else to give you meaning. That kind of energy never inspires respect. Think about leaders, creators, and visionaries. They all have one thing in common. They're driven by something bigger than themselves. And because of that, people naturally want to be around them. Living with purpose doesn't mean you have everything figured out. It simply means you're moving forward, building, growing, and improving. That forward momentum makes you unforgettable. A purposeful person doesn't have to chase love. It chases them. Human psychology is wired to crave what is rare. Diamonds are valued because they're scarce. Limited editions sell out faster because people fear missing out. The same principle applies to relationships. If you're always available, always present, always giving, there's nothing rare about your presence. But when you learn to limit your attention, when you stop handing out your energy like free samples, you become valuable. Scarcity makes people pay attention. It makes them realize that your presence is not guaranteed. And once they feel that, they begin to miss it. Scarcity doesn't mean disappearing completely. It means being intentional. It means showing up with quality, not quantity. When your time and energy feel rare, they automatically feel special. And special is what people crave. Nothing speaks louder than the strength to walk away. Most people fear losing someone so much that they tolerate disrespect, settle for less, and cling to unhealthy situations. But when you're willing to walk away, you show the highest form of self-respect. You prove that your value doesn't depend on anyone else's recognition. That silence, that absence, echoes in their mind. Suddenly, they realize the weight of your presence. Walking away doesn't mean anger or bitterness. It means peace. It means you'd rather stand alone with dignity than stay with someone who doesn't value you. And here's the truth. The moment you prove you can walk away, people see you differently. They respect you, and often they come chasing. Because deep down, nothing is more powerful than realizing you lost someone who didn't need to stay. Attraction is a dance between giving and holding back. Too much giving, and you lose value. Too much holding back, and you seem cold. The key is balance. Show genuine care, but don't smother. Be available, but not always. Share parts of yourself, but leave room for curiosity. This balance creates tension. The healthy kind that makes someone wonder about you, think of you, and crave your presence. Imagine a fire, too much wood at once, and it suffocates, too little and it dies out. But feed it carefully, and it burns strong. Relationships are the same. People miss those who know how to create balance, those who give enough to be felt, but hold back enough to be missed. True presence is not about being loud, flashy, or constantly visible. It's about the energy you carry when you enter a room and the impression you leave when you walk out. Some people barely speak, yet everyone remembers them. Why? Because presence is about how you make others feel, not just what you say. When you are calm, confident, and centered, you naturally command attention. People sense stability in you, and stability is rare. They begin to associate you with strength, with peace, with certainty. And when you're gone, they notice the emptiness. Presence lingers longer than words. The memory of how you made them feel stays alive in their mind. That's why cultivating presence through confidence, respect, and authenticity is one of the most powerful ways to make anyone miss you. Human beings are wired to be curious. When we don't have all the answers, we can't help but think about them. This is why mystery is such a powerful force in attraction. If you reveal everything about yourself too quickly, there's nothing left to imagine. But if you leave space, if you allow questions to remain unanswered, you create mental gravity. They wonder where you are, what you're doing, and what's on your mind. That wondering is what makes them think of you even in your absence. Mystery is not about lying or playing games. It's about pacing. It's about sharing slowly, layer by layer, instead of spilling everything at once. The less you explain, the more they imagine. And imagination is far more powerful than explanation. A touch of mystery keeps you unforgettable. Boundaries are not walls. They are lines that define respect. Without boundaries, you give others unlimited access to your time, energy, and emotions. And when something is unlimited, it loses its value. Setting boundaries shows that you respect yourself. It communicates, my time is precious. My energy is valuable. My heart is not for everyone. People may not always admit it, but they respect those who have boundaries. In fact, boundaries make people miss you because they prevent overexposure. Instead of being endlessly available, you become someone whose attention feels earned. That sense of earning is what makes presence meaningful. Boundaries aren't selfish, they're necessary. They protect your self-worth, and in doing so, they naturally increase your value in the eyes of others. Emotional control is one of the rarest and most attractive traits a person can have. Most people overreact, panic, or chase when emotions run high. But when you remain calm in the face of rejection, silence, or distance, you set yourself apart. You show that you are not ruled by impulse, but by strength. That calmness makes others trust you, respect you, and think about you long after you're gone. Emotional control doesn't mean suppressing feelings. It means mastering them. It means choosing your response instead of reacting blindly. And when you do that, you project power. People miss the presence of those who stay steady when others crumble. They remember how safe it felt to be around you, and that memory draws them back. In a world of instant gratification, patience is rare, and rare things are always valued. When you don't rush, when you don't force, when you allow connections to unfold naturally, you stand out. Patience communicates confidence. It shows that you trust yourself, trust the process, and don't need to cling for reassurance. The impatient person chases, begs, and forces outcomes. The patient one steps back, lets things breathe, and waits. And waiting is powerful because it creates space for curiosity to grow. People miss the presence of those who do not demand attention. but instead inspire it. Patience makes you magnetic because it proves you're not desperate, you're deliberate. And deliberate people are unforgettable. There's a quiet strength in being self-sufficient. When you don't rely on others to fill your emotional gaps, you create an aura of independence that is deeply attractive. People are naturally drawn to those who can stand tall on their own. Self-sufficiency doesn't mean isolation. It means you have your own rhythm, your own joys, and your own fulfillment, whether someone is present or not. The beauty of this energy is that it shifts the dynamic. Instead of needing someone, you choose them. And when people realize they are chosen, not depended upon, the bond feels more valuable. Those who cling out of need are easily forgotten. Those who radiate strength through self-sufficiency are remembered, even missed, because their presence feels like a privilege, not a necessity. Infatuation burns hot, but it burns out fast. Respect, however, lasts. The truth is, people may be temporarily drawn to looks, charm, or flattery, but what makes them think of you long after you're gone is respect. Respect comes from consistency, showing integrity, keeping promises, and valuing yourself enough not to settle for less. When people respect you, they also crave your presence. Why? Because respect is rare. Anyone can provide excitement for a moment, but not everyone can leave behind a legacy of dignity. And when you embody that, you are not just someone they liked, you are someone they admire. Admiration creates longing. It makes absence heavier. And it ensures that you are not just missed for what you gave, but for who you were. Predictability kills excitement. When someone knows exactly how you'll respond, what you'll say, or what you'll do, there's no mystery left. Unpredictability, however, creates intrigue. It doesn't mean being erratic or unreliable. It means not being obvious. Maybe you choose to say no when they expect a yes. Maybe you surprise them by showing up differently than usual. That unpredictability keeps people guessing, and guessing keeps them engaged. The mind cannot miss what it has fully figured out, but it will always miss what it hasn't solved yet. This is why the most unforgettable people are not the ones who give everything away, but the ones who leave a trail of questions behind. A touch of unpredictability makes your presence addictive and your absence unforgettable. Inner strength leaves the deepest impression. It's not about being perfect or never showing vulnerability. It's about standing firm when life tests you. People remember the ones who faced challenges with courage, who didn't crumble under pressure, and who stayed true to their values, even when it was hard. That kind of strength inspires. And inspiration is what lingers in the mind when someone is gone. Think about it. The people you miss most are rarely the ones who entertained you briefly. They're the ones who changed the way you saw yourself, the ones who lifted you up by simply existing with strength and grace. Inner strength makes you unforgettable. It makes people crave your presence because it reminded them of their own potential. And when you're not around, that echo of strength keeps them thinking of you. At the end of the day, being missed is not about tricks, games, or manipulation. It's about who you are when no one is watching. It's about carrying yourself with confidence, independence, mystery, and respect. It's about valuing yourself so much that others cannot help but value you too. People don't miss those who chase. They miss those who walk with purpose. They don't miss those who beg for attention. They miss those who inspire it effortlessly. And they don't miss those who give themselves away too easily. They miss those who knew their worth and lived by it. The most powerful presence is built through silence, patience, boundaries, and the courage to walk away when respect is gone. That is what lingers in the heart. That is what makes someone unforgettable. If this message inspired you, make sure to like this video and explore more of our channel for empowering and motivational stories that will push you toward your best self.